Assassin's Creed Shadows is being delayed again, this time being pushed to March 20th, 2025, without much information as to why it's happening, except for, hey, we need more time to work on bugs and fixes, and it's gonna be great. Please stay with us. Don't leave, please. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Ubisoft has officially announced the second delay for Assassin's Creed Shadows, posting this memo on Twitter today, letting everyone know that it is now going to be releasing on March 20th, 2025, because they're committed to making it a great experience. You know, the quote-unquote game that plays more like a DEI agenda instead of an actual adventure experience, but don't let details get in the way of a good diversity, equity, and inclusion propaganda piece. JT. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down Assassin's Creed Shadows being delayed yet again, much to nobody's surprise. Dear players, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to our incredible fans and dedicated teams for your unwavering support since our announcement in September to further refine and polish Assassin's Creed Shadows. And stopping right there and looking at it like, I don't know what the unwavering support from the fans would be, because from what I'm seeing and surveying the landscape, nobody wants to support this game for the vast majority of gamers, except for the die-hard Assassin's Creed fanboys out there. This game is going to fall flat on its face. Since November, we've been thrilled to share our progress through gameplay overviews, and the overwhelming excitement has truly inspired us. This reads like a marketing puff piece that they're just trying so hard to pretend like la 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 la, fingers in our ear. There's no problems here. Just ignore all that community feedback we've been getting over the past year or two since this game got officially announced to everybody, and that we had a black main protagonist in feudal Japan, and we made some creative liberties when it came to Yasuke and who he actually was in real life compared to what we're making him in this game. But don't worry about that, because we're going to fit the agenda that we're pushing forward. Each week has brought valuable feedback from our community. While we've already made remarkable strides, we believe a few additional weeks are needed to implement that feedback and ensure an even more ambitious and engaging day one experience. So apparently, according to this, they're delaying the game because they need more time to fix bugs and glitches and make the game more enjoyable day one experience. I don't know. I find that very hard to believe, especially when you look at the history of what transpired when the game got delayed initially, and how there were reports that they were trying to diminish the role of Yasuke in the overall game storyline because they realized what a massive mistake they made pushing him front and center. The game's still on track. It's feature complete. We just need to polish it up a bit to make sure it looks great and it runs perfectly so there are no issues with it. When in reality, behind the scenes, apparently Ubisoft is looking at this game saying, we need to completely remove Yasuke and replace him with a new character from Japan and redo the entire game. Accordingly, the new release date is March 20th, 2025. We remain committed to delivering a high-quality, immersive experience fostered by ongoing dialogue between our players and development teams. So here they're saying, hey, don't worry about our creative decisions. We're definitely totally listening to you guys. Just give us that feedback and we'll have some communication. We know you're eager to learn more about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and we're excited to share that more updates will be coming your way very soon. Mark Alexis Cote on behalf of all the teams working on Assassin's Creed Shadows. So this message comes out from Ubisoft, and it's just like, okay, Ubisoft is at a near all-time low with their stock. They've lost over 80% of their stock value in the past 5 years alone, and it has been dropping like a rock, and this game is their last hurrah, and it looks like nobody's going to be buying it. Bird Talk says, the fact it hasn't released makes Assassin's Creed Shadows an asset of potential value. This makes Ubisoft more attractive to potential buyers who would profit off the game sales post-acquisition. If Ubisoft releases it before the studio sale, all benefit is lost to the buyer. Ubisoft's recent announcement regarding the delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows to March 20th, 2025 may just sound like a simple extension to improve the game, but no, in reality, it reeks of desperation. This delay isn't about delivering quality, it's about stalling for time while a sinking ship tries to plug its holes. Ubisoft has already been facing extreme financial turmoil, and Shadows is a last-ditch effort to remain relevant, one that anyone paying attention knows it won't work. This is a far cry from the industry titan that Ubisoft used to be. I get it. It was a long time ago, but trust me, they used to be a force to be reckoned with. But I guess this is what happens when you let DEI take over your entire organization. From inception, Assassin's Creed Shadows was a blatant vehicle for diversity, equity, and inclusion propaganda. Rather than having any kind of meaningful addition to the Assassin's Creed franchise, this game pushed forward the inclusion of Yasuke, a black character who was not a samurai, but portrayed as one to fit a narrative. This isn't any kind of real organic story choice. It was a box-ticking exercise. An exercise that I'd argue put Ubisoft in terrible shape. The game began development back in 2020 during the height of the George Floyd riots, and it's clear by now to everyone paying attention that Ubisoft was aiming to capitalize off of the very prominent at the time Black Lives Matter movement by producing a game, and I use that word very loosely, steeped in the ideology of the Black Lives Matter movement. A narrative that makes absolutely zero sense when you take a step back and seeing how they injected a black lead main protagonist in feudal Japan. Okay, they actually might have gotten away with this if it was literally anywhere else, but doing what they did with Japan, it's just come on, how stupid do you think people are? Instead of resonating with fans, making a game in feudal Japan steeped in lore and engaging experiences, Ubisoft felt to instead take an approach that has completely backfired. And when players and critics alike are questioning Ubisoft's priorities, you really got to take a step back and say, man, what the hell was Ubisoft even thinking with this? Justin on X said, Yasuke would have been better served as a bonus unlockable character for a New Game Plus. Maybe him, a lost British soldier, and the villain could be playable for a New Game Plus. But he simply does not work as the main protagonist. Nothing can change that. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. The way you put this guy front and center in the game, people are going to look at it is anyone going to say anything?
Greed cannot rule this village. Not while I have breath in my lungs and a blade in my hand. I said kill him.
And as I spoke about in a previous video, rumors had been circling that Assassin's Creed Shadows is being reworked currently to significantly reduce the role of Yasuke in the overall narrative of the game, directly in reaction to the backlash from players who felt like his inclusion was more about virtue signaling than any kind of serious, authentic storytelling. And that would explain why it's not only had one delay, but now a second delay, because when you rework an entire storyline and roll back how much somebody was a part of a game, it takes a lot of time and work. The statement from Mark Alexis Cote highlights how the delay is intended to incorporate valuable feedback from our community. And while that might sound noble on surface, we all know the corporate speak by now. It begs the question, why wasn't the feedback sought after earlier in the development cycle? If they care so much about it, why did you wait until the game's about to come out to say, hey, we gotta delay it because we're listening to feedback now? It doesn't make any sense at all, except in the light of they realized how bad they effed up and how people are closing their wallets, don't want to purchase this game, and they're saying, all right, we actually need to adjust course before we come out with this, because otherwise, we're completely screwed. Ubisoft's promise of a more ambitious and engaging day one experience feels hollow when placed against their track record of buggy launches and underwhelming gameplay. Could this be true? Sure, but at this point, given their history, the likelihood of Shadows delivering a polished experience by March is slim at best. Most gamers aren't even concerned about the bugs when it comes to this game though, because there's been so many Assassin's Creed games that have come out before that they're like, sure, Ubisoft can get that right. But that's not the problem. It's the whole DEI injection with this game that people are very hesitant with. They're like, what are you doing with the storyline? What are you trying to sell to me? Why is there so much propaganda injected here? Ubisoft's decision to develop Shadows during the period of heightened social unrest in 2020 reveals that their true intentions, deep down, were never to create an incredible immersive game experience. They were never about crafting the compelling story or refining gameplay mechanics. It has always been about capitalizing on a cultural movement to push an agenda. But as we see in the gaming community and have repeatedly shown, players don't want to be lectured. We want to be entertained. By prioritizing messaging over mechanics, Ubisoft has set themselves up for failure from Jump Street, and they have no one to blame but themselves. The delay to March 2025 may buy Ubisoft some time, but it's not going to fix any of the underlying issues plaguing Assassin's Creed Shadows. If the game fails, as I obviously expect it will, it could mark the end of Ubisoft as we know it. A company that once defined gaming excellence years ago. I know it was a while ago, but trust me, it has devolved into a shadow of its former self, and I'm sorry, I had to. Assassin's Creed Shadows is looking like a complete monstrosity of a failure, and Ubisoft themselves knows it. They've backed themselves into a corner, and this tells everybody. If your company swallows that DEI pill, it completely poisons the well and will eventually destroy you, and this is proof positive of that. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Smash Smash